What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of AOS Trash Panda Tuesdays. I'm going to try and start using like the name that was envisioned when you and I started doing this together. Like, what has it been now? Like, it's been over a year for sure, right?
It has been a long time, yeah. I think I was doing this podcast since before I went to even my first tournament.
That's crazy. Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And what a journey it's been. What a journey it's been. Straight down.
Straight, yeah. Yep.
Regret everything. My God, get me out. No.
Yep. No, that sounds...
Oh, yeah. No,
we're live. I'm sorry. Yes. Hi, everyone.
Hey, everyone. Hey. How's it going? Oh,
did you see the room
gift from the meat dimension.
Oh, right.
Wow, it's a drink. That's crazy. It's alcohol. Like, it never is.
That's true.
Actually, I really like this stuff. It's the Serbian homemade cherry brandy. It's very good.
Yeah.
You haven't tried this one yet. You've tried the walnut brandy.
I know. No, I know. We talked about it last time. I was like, I think I tried it. And you were like, no, that was the walnut one. And yeah, I haven't tried it yet because you're a stingy bastard with your drinks.
That's me. Yeah. I'm well known not to share anything.
Actually,
yes.
Actually, you were, I don't want to say it like you're not anymore, but in the past, this is all sounding like an insult at this point. You have been,
I think I know what you're going to say.
quite generous with letting me try a bunch of different whiskeys that you got. I mean, we both do, we both like when we get something different or whatever, but like you've had some really nice whiskeys that you've given me in the past. I had the Octomore that you gave me it to me in like a little glass, and I kept that here on my desk for, I don't know, like you gave that to me. It was, I think it was like we were playing 9th edition, like release, like shortly after, I think we were playing like the Index, and you gave me that, and I had it on. No, it couldn't have been then. It couldn't have been then because I was moved into here. Anyway, basically like four years ago or something like that, you gave it to me and I kept it. Maybe it was around that time now that I think about it. It doesn't really matter, but like I kept it on my desk for like 4 or 5 years. And the only time I changed it, like people don't notice, but like I did move everything around in here, but I obviously with the Scaven Council, but you can't tell because they all moved with me. And so I'm actually pointing in the other direction now. But that's when I like cleaned the crap out of my desk and rearranged everything. And it's not there anymore. I think I finally recycled it. But I would just every now and again I would open it up and just,
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's so good. It's the highest volume of peat in any whiskey in the world, or at least was.
Where
it's true? Like you take a drink of it and it's like you're drinking a campfire. Like it's amazing. And I know there's some people that don't like that up there, and that's totally fine. But
yeah, I mean, like
Rob
you have
does.
to be. I'm the Islay malts, and then. Sorry, I don't know where I'm getting a call from at this time. It's probably a scam. What was I saying? Yeah. Islay malts for me, and then Speyside, and then everything else. Like, there's nothing even close.
Yeah.
You know?
Alex says, write me a good IJ list, Carvel Tunnelson. No.
I'm going to add, can I add on to that?
Sure.
Like, is that even possible?
I don't know, but I don't want to try. I feel like as soon as I like indulge, I'm going to turn into Alex.
That's true. I mean, like, I just find that it's better not to indulge Alex.
And how dare you for asking?
Oh my gosh. It's like some kind of political thing.
In the past, Carson was once generous. In the past, I worked a full-time studio job, and I had a lot of money. And I was like, you know what's great? Scotch and luxury whiskeys is great.
And sharing it with friends.
And sharing it with friends. I love. As soon as I get like any large sum of money, I'm just like, you know what? My friends would enjoy this. And then I know that's kind of how it goes. But then I decided to start my own studio and became poor. And here we are. Well, not poor.
Yep.
Became normal.
Oh man, you're really digging yourself a hole over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So moving right along.
But I mean, the middle class is dead. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not wrong. Thanks everyone for joining us. Stark says boring stream only tonight. Sounds like a plan. I would argue that these are the streams that are the least boring, right? Like, should I join Carson with some whiskey?
Do it.
Is tonight the night? Okay.
Nice
I'll be right back. Entertain the troops. The rumor engine is up. I'll be right back.
Rumor engine is up. I kind of had this spoiled for me by like Reddit, I think. And that I think it's like Mechanicus of some kind or Dark Mechanicus. Some sort. Or there's some. Oh, no. Someone said it was like a Primaris Hell something gun. But regardless, it was 40k and I kind of stopped caring. But it definitely doesn't look AOS. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts in the chat. Alex says, I'm already sniffing your coattails on the PNW Masters. That's true. I did terribly last year at like the PNW Masters tournament. I think that was my only tournament I've ever gone 2 and 3. I showed up to that tournament, which is a 2-list format, with 2 of the same list, and choked on my hubris all the way to a 2 and 3.
I'm back. I don't know what you said about the rumor engine. I'm gonna take a guess. I think you said it's definitely Age of Sigmar because you're an idiot. And that's what I think too. Because it's clearly from Age of Sigmar.
Both of those things?
Yeah.
I think it's from Age of Sigmar, and I think you're an idiot.
Those two things are unrelated. Yeah. You know, so how have you been? Okay, actually, first of all, let me do Carson's weekly gag. I'm going to get something from the Scaven. What do we have here? It is, it's a lovely Tamnavolan Speyside whiskey.
Ooh, I love a good Speyside malt. That's good.
Me too. It is my second favorite because they're always smooth, you know?
Oh, yeah. Super
they're
fruity.
always smooth. And yeah, exactly. And sometimes they have like a little bit of like a, this is going to make it sound bad, but like a seaside iodine-y kind of flavor to them. It's hard to explain, but yeah. I actually got this one because it was on sale. And that's how I first tried it. This was, I think, the second Speyside I ever tried. And it was crazy cheap when I first tried it, like well over 10 years ago. And yeah, it was really good. So I got another bottle because it was on sale again.
Pulling the cork out.
What's that?
I said that ASMR of you pulling the cork out. That was great.
Could you guys hear it?
I could hear it, but
oh, well then they could probably hear it too, right? Because
probably better.
Hope I got that.
That one got Googled out of existence for me, but they probably still heard it.
Excellent.
Asri says it could be a new bespoke Necron kill team model since the old one isn't long for this world. Is it not?
Ooh.
I don't know anything about kill team. I'm sorry.
You know what's crazy though is our buddy Colin is like, he's trying to get me in, and I think he's succeeded. And there's no Tyrannid kill team, but apparently we're gonna get something at some point. But apparently all of the kill teams are gonna be like new sculpts from here on out. And so his hope, he said, Colin was saying either Raveners or what was the other thing? Or maybe like a new Warriors kit. And I like both of those ideas. Like, I mean, anything Tyranids and I'm in. But in the meantime, just to like, I've been kind of feeling like painting orcs lately. So I was thinking, yeah, orcs. Yeah, like I tend to go for Xenos in general for 40k because I do like Space Marines and I do play them. But cheers, everyone. But I was thinking about doing, yeah, cacao. See, not boring. Oh yeah, they did preview like a new orc thing that I didn't even know about, like the Tank Bustas or something. They're quite flavorful, but the Commando kill team is, I don't know, it's even more flavorful. And I was just thinking that maybe that'll scratch that itch, and it totally won't end up in me collecting an entire 40k orc army. I'm sure.
Definitely not.
Yeah. The other option is to like try and wait for Tyranids because that's where my heart is, or to, I don't know, like maybe get into Warcry Iron Jaws or something to just scratch that orky itch that I'm getting lately.
You had said that you've always been like Iron Jaws curious, so I could see you
Yeah.
doing something like that for sure.
Yeah, I actually bought the Start Collecting box back in the day and a unit of brutes, and then I was just like, then COVID hit, and I was just like, I don't know, and I sold them. Kind of, I'm not disappointed because I don't like those old Ard boys anyway, but there is that Christmas box coming, and I don't know though. I think it's a bad idea. To be honest, I think it's a bad idea. I've got a lot of Skaven to paint, but
Yeah, for a whole Christmas box, probably not great. But
no, and like that, it is harder for me in particular to like get through stuff. You know what I mean? When I build too much of it, so I would have to like just build one unit at a time, probably. But maybe even just use some of that stuff. And I don't know. I'm going off on a tangent. So hopefully that wasn't too boring. Write me a good. All right, compost more pigs, Alex. In the past, Carson was once generous. Sorry, I'm catching way up. I just realized how far back I'm going here. Yeah. I'm already sniffing your coattails on the PNW Masters, Alex says. Gross. Judge is in the house. Welcome, Judge. With the necro weapons tips. Okay, so yeah, going back to this rumor engine, that is interesting. I did think of Necrons, but yeah, that's an interesting idea. It doesn't look that small because the pigment isn't. Oh, actually, it's kind of small, isn't it? Because like that edge highlighting, you can really see it. Yeah, maybe the end of like a weapon or something like that. Some kind of disintegrator ray. Carson doesn't know anything about Necrons, everyone, so we can't really look to him.
I don't think this is Necrons. It does look like a little bit different than Necron. Like Necrons almost always have that little like hook overhang on the end of the gun kind of thing.
Right?
This doesn't have that at all. And then this also has those like weird, they look like metallic coils at the end. And if it were Necron-esque, it would probably be like plasma of some kind. Or like, not plasma, but it'd be glowing. Right. So I don't think that it's Necrons.
That's interesting. I'm going to say something that's not going to be right, but because Mechanic has already got their book, I think, in 40K. We don't really pay any attention lately to 40K, but so I'm going to go with Dark Mechanicus. Not really sure why. You know? Sometimes you just got to feel it. Stark says 40K is a myth. That's probably true. I don't think they'll bin it anytime soon, though. I hear it makes them a few dollars. You know? Could be a bespoke. Oh, sorry. Yeah. 40K. So you don't care. Yeah, like, that's how I felt for a long time, Vox. It's just like, okay, it's 40K, so right? But Space Marine, too. It's making me feel something in my cockles, you know?
I don't think you're supposed to talk about that in the first 5 minutes of the stream. I guess it's been 15 minutes. We're okay.
Yeah.
Can't say words like that.
About my dream the other day. Oh, I forgot you were all here. Thank you for joining us. Orcs are fun, real Daka. Orc Christmas fun, do it. Said like a true orc, Big Ron. I like that. Yeah. I understood you. Kill Team is fun as an aside of AOS. That's kind of what I was thinking. Like maybe even something we could do on the channel because it's like very low commitment to painting. You know what I mean? You do a war band and you're done. And it also lends itself to like some fun narrative stuff. I think the main issue is not having any 40k terrain. I sold off all my 40k terrain to pay for the new Scaven stuff. I'm only regretting that a little bit now. But I actually want to, like, if I do 40k terrain, I want to go all out. Like, I want to do like Tyrannid infected, terrain of some kind. Like, really go all out. Yeah, when I was first playing Space Marine 2, like, not the demo, but like the trial, like the tutorial area where actually, did you play it? Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there is a tutorial area that you don't go back to later on. It's not like a part of the campaign. It basically just teaches you how to do it. And it's kind of too bad because, like, the world is really neat that they design, and like the different like scaffolding and like walkways and terrain, it's so freaking cool. And like, I was just walking around and like looking at things, you know what I mean? And it made me want to paint 40k, especially like the terrain and stuff. So yeah, 3D print that terrain. It's out there. Purples, greens, and gore red. Yeah, like, that's kind of, actually, that's a good idea. I was thinking about like making it from scratch, like using, well, not from scratch per se, but like getting like some GW kits, like that are like kind of walls and ruins and stuff like that, and then kind of adding like Tyrannid-y sort of goop to it, using like maybe the Green Stuff World Roller or something like that. But yeah, Ludivicus, welcome. We are full of piss and vinegar tonight, and some whiskey.
That's right.
Or in Carson's case, brandy, I think.
Yes. Cherry brandy.
Cherry brandy.
It's very good. It smells like cough syrup. It tastes a little bit like cough syrup too. But it's very delightful.
Oh man. Yeah, that sounds terrible, but I will try some if you gift it to me for free.
Yeah. I think you'd like it. It's quite sweet.
Oh, really? Interesting. So it's like a cordial?
Kind of.
I normally like brandy. Brandy's usually got a bit of a smoky taste to it. So
yeah, it's warm for sure. I don't know how else to explain. It is kind of like cough syrup in the best way that I can possibly make that sound.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, thank you, Jason.
Thank you so much, Jason. He gifted a gift membership to Carol in the chat. And okay, Jason, thank you so much, first of all. Second of all, were you waiting until Ludivicus said something to try and snipe him? Like, I gotta know. I don't normally ask these kinds of things, but like Ludivicus didn't say anything, and then it was like cacao. Of course he missed because Ludivicus is basically a lictor, just to bring it back to Tyranids. But Lodi says no to membership again. Yeah. The Sasquatch says, homie, don't play that. Yeah. Okay, actually, I guess we can move on from the rumor engine, right? Maybe.
Yes. Sorry, I know. But I realize you can't always see me all the time.
That's true. Yeah, sometimes I actually look at the chat. Jason says may have contributed to timing. That's so awesome. I think it's got to be an Apple thing. Huh. There must be. Yeah, I don't know. We need to get him on live. Oh man, that was a quick one. Like that did Big Ron. Thank you so much. Gifted one to Robert, not me, in the chat there. Like, man, we have to have Ludivicus on. We'll just talk about gits or something like that. We'll lure him in with that and be like, okay, now live, show us your desktop right now. I'll give him a gift.
Share your screen.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. Right now. I don't know why we're talking about this in front of him. Huge mistake. Big Ron says apples are stupid. I like a good apple, Yeah. I prefer
a nice big gala apple, I like the really big ones because it makes you feel small. You know?
Not my issue. I
Like,
actually like Fuji apples, but I
oh,
prefer a good navel orange. You know?
you
Yeah.
creep.
Oh, what am I gonna do? You
Navels.
know?
Okay. Um, I have like it's like a core memory for me where I went to like an apple fest and bought like these gigantic apples. Took my dog for like a super long walk. Like this is a long time ago when I was a kid. And I just had a knife in the apple and I was just like cutting off pieces of the apple and feeding it to my dog on like this like mountainside trail. It's very,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why I decided to bring that up, but
Hey,
it's a core memory and I enjoy it.
maybe it's the brandy talking. Oh my goodness, Mechrat. Welcome to. Actually, that reminds me. Thank you, first of all, Mechrat, for joining the channel as a harbinger, the harbinger of awesomeness. Mechrat is coming on the show next week, and we are going to be doing we're going to be doing a Scaven review show finally. I wanted to get like the most amount of data possible, play as much as possible. I didn't get to play as much as I wanted to, but we're gonna do a Skaven review show with Mechrat next week. He just did his like post book Skaven tier list, and I think it's very good. I think it's the best tier list I've seen for Skaven. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think it definitely is actually. Although there's a couple parts where, we're naturally going to disagree because I'm awesome and he's pretty good. So, there's going to be some differences there. But yeah, we're going to have him on next week and it's going to be awesome. And if you're not already subscribed to his channel, check him out on YouTube. It is Mechrat. I don't know why I said that so weird. Golden Delicious. Golden Delicious are good. Granny Smith are good. Ah, man. These are all good. Too Tart are great for pastries. That's true. Are Granny Smith... Wait, which ones are the green ones? That's the Fuji, right?
That's Granny Smith.
Okay. Oh, that's Granny Smith.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Well,
the Fuji are like yellowy, like with a little bit of like red in there, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I like Granny Smith. That's the one I like.
You like Granny Smith just by itself?
Yeah, the green apples.
Yeah, they're like very tart.
Mm-hmm. That's
okay.
true.
Fine,
like almost a little bit sour. Very
I'm not
like
gonna yuck anyone's yum.
too late. No, I like it. Yeah.
Actually, there's a very simple recipe that I like to do where you buy like puff pastry from the grocery store, and then you take Granny Smith apples and you like cut them into rings, essentially, where you peel the whole thing. Actually, you don't even have to peel it, but you core it, and then make a big enough hole that you can kind of wrap the puff pastry around it, the entirety of it, so it makes like a ring. And then do like a very simple egg wash, and then you just bake that, and then you put some powdered sugar on top, and it's like delicious. Bam. And it's not too sweet. It's really good.
That sounds really good.
They're like onion rings except with apples. It's really good.
Huh. That sounds even better. I love onion rings. So, I used to have my mom used to make carameled apples, and she would use Granny Smith apples, and like the sweet with the tart. It was
100%.
Yeah. But yeah.
I think regular apples would be too sweet for
exactly. And like I guess it's that sort of dichotomy where you've got a little bit of both. It's why like a good Coke, I always want to have a Coke with my burger, sweet and salty. I don't know. That's my story. By the way, I don't know if there are any other Canadians in the chat other than us here. And well, Alex lives here, but he's not Canadian. Anyway, happy Thanksgiving to all our Canadian friends out there and people watching. I hope it was a good one. We are weird here in Canada, and we have them very early. Nice. Yo, what up, Pat? Shout out to my squeak peeps. Yeah. So Ladificus says he watched the Mechrat tier list video and he said it was probably the best one he's watched so far. But to have some different opinions. Yeah, it's going to be like that, and we could talk about it. We'll talk about it next week. You take Granny Smith apples and you push them straight into the bin. Oh, Alex. Poor Sweet Alex. He's not really so sweet, but yeah. Exactly. Ludivicus has it right. My natural sweetness, it just compensates. It overtakes. That's why I have to eat Granny Smith. And like the opposite is true with Alex, you know? It's like, you know, like this. Okay, I'm going to move right along. Love you, Alex. He was actually really nice during last week's stream that we did, you know?
That's true.
And it was weird. Originally I said like, this has got to be someone who's got a hold of Alex's account.
He's taking a skin.
Yeah, he's taking a skin. He's like some kind of skinwalker.
Typing on his computer. Yeah.
Yeah. Like naturally that's what we all thought. But it turned out it was him. And so, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was just like the Thanksgiving spirit or something, you know? Yeah.
Well, as Alex said in the chat, it's your welcomesgiving for the Brits that live in Canada. But
oh dear.
And that's the Alex we know and love. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Big Ron.
Yeah.
And all the other Canadians in the chat.
Yeah. Only Canadians. But
I mean, the American one's not for another month, so
yeah, no, I know, but aren't we gonna say Happy Thanksgiving to them? Or I guess then they'll get theirs on their own day.
Yeah, on their when it comes time. You know?
I see. Fair enough. Will we do it because it's always on what, a Friday or Thursday? Thursday.
I'm not sure.
I think it's Thursday because Black Friday is the day after Thanksgiving.
Right.
Right. So are we gonna do it? Are we going to do like our American Thanksgiving show before or after? Because this one's after.
I don't know if we'll do a show about it. But
we won't do a show about it. We'll surprise them. Maybe we'll mention it. Maybe we won't.
Maybe we'll start the first half of it the week prior, and then we'll finish it the week after.
I like where your head's at. Yeah. Unless anything important is going on whatsoever, and then we'll cancel all of that.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. I am going to, in fact, move on to more slides, if I can find it here. Why did I decide to drink? This is a terrible idea. What the heck? I can't find it for some reason. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. I was looking for the wrong symbol. Chrome. Boop. Okay. So now you're like, everyone at home is like, but Rob, that's the same picture, you idiot. Like, why are you showing us the same thing? I'll tell you why. And that's because, so recently, this really has become Seinfeld because it's the show about nothing. But in getting ready for this show and preparing for not next week, but the week after that show, which we're going to have, Stark is coming on, and we're going to be talking about the Stormcast release, which is that Saturday after, right? In getting ready for it, I asked Carson, I was like, do you remember when the Stormcast are coming out? And he was like, I don't think they're coming out at all. He's like, we haven't gotten the Sunday preview show. And he's like, I went and looked for it, and I didn't see it. And he's like, maybe I'm blind or something like that. I can't remember. I'm paraphrasing, right?
No,
and I was like,
verbatim what I said.
Okay. So then I said, well, remember last week we did it. We actually talked about it. And he's like, oh yeah. And basically it turns out he couldn't find it on the new website. Now we had a lot of our friends kind of say like, oh, the new website's awesome. Right. But then I was trying to show you, like I was trying to find it for you. I ended up just doing a Google search to get the Saturday thing because, okay, so you come to here. Here's the new website, right? And then you scroll down here and you're like, okay, I don't see it here, right? Maybe I should zoom out a bit. It's not letting me. Oh, dear. That was not a great idea, but you can't find it, right? I'm just going to zoom back in. This is okay. But anyway, so as it turns out, to see like the stuff that's a little bit past. Oh, geez. This is really not working out. Okay. So you can't see it on, one second. I'm going to go back out. The way they design this website is terrible. And there's like a see all. So I click on the see all, right? And nothing really happens. All it does is get rid of the top. And then if you actually want to go back, you got to click on load more. And then you got to start scrolling back through it. And it turns out you got to go through 2 layers of that to find the Sunday preview, from 10 days ago. That's fine. That just means they've got more articles lately, right? And then, so I'm going to click off of that. Whiskey was a bad idea. I'm such a lightweight because I hardly ever drink anymore. Okay, so now we click off of that, right? And then now we've got another article. I just picked this one because I knew it had pictures in it. Okay. So now we go to this article and they've got these cool new Space Marine and Plague Marine kill teams coming out. And you're just like, oh, I think they look kind of cool. And you guys can see my mouse right here. I want to zoom in on them. Click, 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 click. Oh, wow. That actually worked. So apparently if you double click on it. Oh, I didn't know that. Although now it's got this in the middle of here. Yeah, I don't know, man. Okay, this one's okay. This one's fine. What is going on?
For reference, I have no idea what's going on. Because
that's true.
On stream is like
he can't see it, but like the chat saw it. It's not great. So to show, like, let's say I wanted to show you guys what it actually is, I would then have to. I would then have to like open it in a new tab, and now we can see it. Anyway, my point is they've now made 2 websites that are worse versions of the old website. This is not a rant. I don't know. Is it a rant? Maybe it's a rant.
I feel like you can't end like 8 minutes of full stream of consciousness talking angrily about something with "this is not a rant."
This was my TED Talk, Carson.
Yeah, at the end of the stream, we're like, this was not a live stream.
This is not a live stream.
This is pre-recorded.
And it is over. Yeah, this is not a live stream. This is a drunk stream, okay? At this point. So, okay, it's not a rant, though. It's my TED Talk, and I don't know. I think they could have done better. That's all I'm saying. Think about the user experience. Okay, moving right along. I accidentally brought this up earlier. Also, I don't like, this is like much more intrusive now. The sidebar thing on the right here. Whatever. Grombrindal's getting his own like novel, which is such a weird thing to do because it says Warhammer Age of Sigmar at the top here, right? And we don't have a model for him. And we haven't like actually seen his official kind of return, which is, I guess, going to happen in this novel. But it's such an interesting thing to do. So I think this means we're getting a Grombrindal model at some point. I can't imagine they're going to have just the book and not have a model. Or I guess we don't have one for Sigmar. What do you guys think? Okay. Can you end that vote?
Yeah, didn't they, just like as you said in the chat, didn't they actually release a Grombrindal model?
They did back in the day.
Model?
Oh, actually, did they?
Yeah.
Did they made like a new special one? That's right. Okay. Damn it.
I don't think it was like playable in AOS or anything like that, but
no, I'm sure it wasn't.
He's got a new model.
Does he? Okay. Well, they used to do it like they had like a 25th anniversary and like a 20th anniversary. So I guess that makes sense. I was going to say, like, let's do a vote to see if we're going to get a model. I think we know how it's gonna. It's already there. Did you send that to me?
I'll send you a pic now.
Sure. Thank you.
Done.
Bling blong. That's a pretty cool model, actually.
Oh, does he have? Oh, I guess he does have rules. Interesting.
He has
Let
rules.
me check the app. Is it like Legends or something, or is it?
We don't know anything about what we're talking about. It's actually a pretty cool model.
I mean, when I search Grom in the app, nothing comes up, so I don't think he's actually usable in game. I'd assume he's Legends.
He's got to be Legends, right?
Yeah.
And
Cool
Alex
model.
It is a very cool model. Like the 25th one had him on like a birthday cake, and it was kind of weird. So yeah, but like, why don't Alex? Can you tell me in the chat? Is Grombrindal Grungy or something like that? Isn't there some kind of connection there? Yo, what up, Sean? Thanks for joining us. Also, Big Ron said earlier, more rant. He also had a novel and has a model. Wait, Grombrindal had a model, or sorry, had a novel in AOS before? Alex is the guy to talk to about this, by the way. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I agree with Jason, though. Their web presence is going downhill, for sure. That's funny. It just came out. Yeah. I do remember this now after it was brought up. But clearly I was not super interested in it. He's awful, apparently. It had rules that they immediately legended.
Yep. So the results are in from the poll of how many Canadians are in the chat.
Okay.
And the results are 63% of the chat answered that they were Canadian. And then 36% of the chat answered that they wish they were Canadian.
I didn't even see that you snuck that in.
Yeah. Yep. Azri says, I wouldn't be surprised if Dispossessed got a refresh along with the Chorf release as a maximum dwarf box. That'd be cool. Actually, yeah, the Cities of Sigmar side of Dwarfs getting like a release alongside of Chaos Dwarfs. That'd be pretty cool.
That would be amazing. Like, that would truly be freaking awesome. I don't think it'll happen, though. I just don't think dwarves are popular enough. But, like, I like Chaos Dwarves. So, if that ever does happen, I probably won't have anyone to split it with because I think they're actually more popular than regular dwarves. Right?
Yeah, probably. There'd be a lot of people flocking to that, I think, for sure.
I think so. And I think the problem would be like that. I think the problem is just that, like, you know what? It might happen that, like, if they do a cool redesign on dwarves, like, I could see maybe being interested in that. I do like artillery and that kind of thing. So, yeah. Ludivicus says I jump on the Chorf train. They actually had like a train model, I think. I'm pretty sure they had some kind of train, like war machine of some kind. Maybe I'm making that up. I also made up that there was no. Oh, did they?
Yeah, I see it. It's also in Total War.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I still haven't played the Chorfs in Total War. I bought them like right away, and then I ran out of time, and that was all the time I had. I had enough time to buy them, but not enough time to play them. So, bing bong. That would be you messaging me about some Chorfs. I'm gonna guess.
Sir.
Nice. Oh yeah. Here you go, chat. Someone's lovely paint job. Man, that's pretty dope, right? That's pretty awesome. Okay, I'm going to shut down this browser because I just realized that. So I reinstalled Windows over the weekend, And it's a minor miracle that the stream has gone off thus far without any real hiccups other than my own idiocy. So I'm quite happy with that. But I did not install Discord back on my computer because every time I turn on my computer, it annoys the bejeebers out of me when it opens up Discord and then it like stays there. So I was like, okay, well, what I did before was I made it so that it would like go to minimize first thing, but it still opens it up. So if you're like doing something or typing something, it's like, haha, and it opens it up and then you're like, Discord, and then it goes away and then you got to like, anyway, it really annoys me. But if you open up Discord in the browser, it doesn't automatically go into streamer mode. So you guys are hearing all those dings and whatnot. So I apologize. There you go. There's the Chorf train, Ladivicus. Get on it. Oh, wait, you can't. They didn't re-release it. But
not yet, anyway. Ezra says, we have a local guy who keeps begging for us to let him play old Chorfs at the local GT. Their rules are bad and don't at all work with modern Sigmar. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I think... Wait, isn't it? What is it called in Sigmar? Isn't it Legion of Asgore or whatever?
Legion of Asgore?
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah,
Pretty gross.
Legion of Asgore, the Chaos Dwarf forces that garrison the bleak and foreboding Black Fortress in the Southern Darklands. Oh my god. Yeah.
So, but I mean, they don't officially exist anymore because they've been in Legends since like the start of AOS 2, I think.
Yeah. I know that Will, who's in our club, at least for a while, like his default in BCP was listing his army as Legion of Asgore. So everyone would be like, oh my god, there's going to be a Chaos Dwarfs player at this tournament. And he always swaps it at the last minute. Like,
that piece of crap.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Legion of Asgoth. Or is it, which one is it? Who do I believe?
Asgore.
With
it's Azgorh.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, do we really think they're gonna come back though? Like I'm for it. I've already said like there's like the one dwarf army that I might be interested in. But like they're very old world. You know? Like they took our beasts of chaos. They just took them. And then I don't think they're giving them back.
No, probably not. I think
not cool.
I don't know exactly where they would fit in the range just because there's a lot of stuff. It feels like chaos is pretty covered for the most part. And I feel like they're kind of trying to scratch the itch of like war machines and siege weapons and stuff like that with Cities of Sigmar.
Oh,
in some sense. Where you have, it's not fully developed yet, but that's kind of like how they've been going with the Ironwood Great Cannon and stuff like that. The steam tanks. So, and also to some extent, Chaos has that supported too with Scaven Scryer. You know, you have.
Right. That's true. And if we ever get like a full Duardin re-release or like expansion, there will probably be that as well. So, like the regular Duardin will probably get, you know, those sorts of things anyway. Yeah, and I mean like Chaos Dwarves were always like a side piece for GW in fantasy. They weren't like their main squeeze. So, yeah. I feel like before we do that, we should see more destruction and more death armies. Because we're still only rocking with 4 of each.
Yeah.
And Chaos has what, 6, 7? I don't even know.
I mean, it's got 1 for each of the core Pantheon.
Skaven.
It's got Skaven, Slaves to Darkness, and, well, it had Beast of Chaos, but...
Ooh, too soon, yes. Carson.
Ooh,
jeez.
Yeah.
Ooh. So I think 6 total. 6. Okay. And then, and Order's got like double that, like 12 or something insane.
Yeah, I think so. I'm just going to look right.
They've got like double Chaos and triple everything else.
They have 9 There's 9 order armies.
Oh, there's only 9.
Yeah. So there's 9 order. There's
okay.
6 chaos. They don't even list Beast of Chaos, Beast of Chaos under Age of Sigmar on the Warhammer website anymore.
Yeah.
Then there's 4 death and 4 destruction.
So 17 plus 6. So we've got 23 factions in Age of Sigmar now. Wow. I feel like we really need like 2 more. I think we need at least 1 more destruction. Hopefully the silent ones. To be honest though, like they're probably gonna bring Umbraneth in at some point, and they're gonna be order. And then we'll get like our 5th Lumineth army. Tyrion's turtlenecks, something like that. So, yeah. Oh yeah, new dispossessed. That's what I meant. Duarden in general, maybe like a combined thing. I know Alex doesn't want that, but the Chaos Pantheon is 5. It's canon. It's true.
What actually are the silent ones?
They're like some kind of like insectile race that like lurks in the darkness and murders things. We've only gotten bits and pieces of them. So yeah, don't know.
Interesting. Also, Beefy says, if KB and IJ are under 1 banner, Umbraneth and Daughters of Cain will be under 1 banner as well.
Ooh. Maybe.
I guess they can create a lore reason for that if they want to.
That's true. The funny thing though too is it's like, okay, if they make IJ and KB, are they like, well, now we've got 5 destruction factions?
Yeah, that's what Alex just said too. I don't know.
Oh, did he? No one counts that. No one counts that, but they might count it, which is disturbing. So then what kind of death faction do we get? Like hopefully something not under Nagash?
Yeah, some sort of like rebellion to Nagash of some kind, like what Tomb Kings were, essentially.
Yeah. Yep.
Would be cool.
In the old world. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome if they actually resurrected Cetra. Like, I wouldn't play Tomb Kings, like a reimagined Tomb Kings. Maybe I would. Actually, maybe I would. I don't know. Like, I think the main thing getting in my way is like some of the goofier sculpts from the old world. You know, those really weird and chunky looking. But like some of them, like the ideas from some of them are awesome. Like the giant like scorpion, I always thought was really cool. And the Tomb Guard, or whatever the guys, the sepulchral stalkers, or whatever the guys riding giant cobras. Those guys were awesome.
Yeah. I just think that aesthetically, Tomb Kings is kind of represented throughout the rest of the game already.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
If you think about the generic skeletons,
right.
You have your skeletons from Soulblight. You've got OBR for like bone constructs. Right. You've got...
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Either in destruction... I know a lot of people probably aren't going to like this, okay? But whatever. I'm a dog person. So either in destruction or in death, I would love a werewolf faction. And that would kind of like take some of the... What's the word? Like what Base of Chaos kind of were. Like a lot of people said they're kind of a destruction faction, even though like they're quintessential chaos from the old world. People say that about Scaven too. And I get it. But like maybe something in destruction or death where it's like, yeah. Like a werewolf faction would be a great foil, I think, to Nagash. You know? Like, did you ever watch the Underworld movies?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like they were kind of like the rebel faction in that world as well, right?
Wouldn't that just be like a Virkos Splinter faction essentially then?
Virkos Veins? Probably.
Because like the whole werewolf aesthetic and direwolves and stuff is already covered as well.
That's true. Yeah. But then but they would be the rebels. So like maybe you could use direwolves in both. You know? Or maybe they're, I don't know, something else. Like when they brought back Lumineth from the old world, so to speak, they didn't give them lions, right? There was always lions of whatever, I didn't play High Elf, so I don't really remember. But like it was very lion centric, and now it's like cows and kangaroos and weird stuff, right? So like it doesn't have to be werewolves, even though that's what I would personally really love. It could be, I don't know, like name some random animal. Like it could be like death earthworms or something crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like who knows what they're gonna do? Yeah. Yeah, the kangaroos, exactly. Rob, take your werewolf idea. Make it Beasts of Chaos-esque destruction faction. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. No, that is what I was trying to say. Very, very ineloquently, but Ludivicus kind of cut the fat off of my nonsense, as it were. So
yeah, I kind of wish that they stuck to and leaned into a little bit more for Beasts of Chaos, like the kind of like fantastical creatures that like you warn your kids about in fairy tales, sort of thing. Like they have these weird monsters like the Jabberslythe and the Cockatrice and stuff like that. Just like
totally.
It's like, oh, you don't want to mess with that thing. It's got, the head of a chicken and the body of a serpent and just like all these like weird things, but it turns out to actually be real. Like,
I love it.
That sort of stuff is super cool.
And they can make their own stuff, like, too. It wouldn't have to be like manticores and like things that we have in traditional, folklore. Yeah, it could be like, the body of an earthworm and the hands of a meerkat. And I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that, but like something crazy.
And some Gene Simmons. My God.
And his rhythm. Yeah.
Just slapping that bass.
Yep.
And nothing else.
I like this.
There's a quote that I really like from a game called. Have you ever played Brutal Legend?
Brutal Legend?
Yeah, it was like
I don't think
Jack
so.
Black was like the main voice actor for a character who like goes into like this like heavy metal universe, and it's actually really awesome. And he runs into.
Oh yes, I do know what you're talking about. I played. I think I rented it, or there was a demo for it. I know what you're talking about though. Yes, absolutely. It's like got kind of a graphic-y style to it. Yeah. Oh,
kind of cell shaded esque, I think. But like, there's one quote where Lemmy Kilmeister gets you to harvest like these like spider silk strands or something, and he just grabs it and he's like, thick as a baby's arm for like his bass guitar.
Creepy.
Yeah. Oh, that reminded me of that.
I like it. Okay, let's go. What have I got to go? There we go. Let's go back to Grombrindal. Enough of this chore faction that we're never going to see. I hope we do, though.
Ever.
I mean, there's quite a few low-hanging fruit. Although I'm wondering, so when was the last time 40K got a new faction? Brand new.
Leagues of Votann?
Right, Leagues of Votann. So that was in 9th edition.
Yes. Yeah, it was a little while ago now. We're definitely spoiled for the amount of factions we have in AOS. Like
we are. And
I wouldn't be upset if they just like kept doing revamps of the existing factions, because some of them definitely need it. But
okay, then what do we want next? What's the next revamp we want to see?
Ogres.
Yeah. I don't know why I even asked you. Anyone but Carson. I'm just kidding. Actually I think Ogres is like the best one. Like if they do like a proper revamp of it too, where there's like brand new gluttons and brand new everything, essentially, then they could also give the old sculpts back to the old world. And then they could have them over there too. So that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think Fire Slayers could use it as well, for sure.
Fire Slayers.
Comments, Big Ron, Asri, and Pat, Ogres.
Yeah. I don't know why I even asked him. What about you guys? You're more important than Carson. There are more 40K factions.
That's 4 people in a row in the chat saying Ogres. It's not just me.
Funny. Fine. The funny thing is, though, is like, had I been thinking about it, I would have I probably wouldn't have even asked just because I would say ogres is the obvious choice. Ogres is like okay, fine. Let's just say ogres is a given at this point. Okay? What else would we like to see?
Yeah, I'm stealing what Asri just said in the chat, where Zeech
Oh,
could get
Zeech.
a bit of a refresh, but I actually think that every of the like main 4 Pantheon could get a refresh, right?
I don't agree with that totally. I think Nurgle is fine other than a couple of kits. Like,
You know, I think we've had this conversation before, and we landed on the same thing. Where Nurgle is fine.
The funny thing is we've even talked about Zeech getting a refresh and Ogres getting a refresh. But the whiskey is speaking. All hail the whiskey.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, this is apropos of nothing at all. But I remember a little while ago I was talking about what's it called? Blue tack. And I was saying that my blue tack was like a little too sticky and whatnot, and it was like kind of coming apart in a way that I didn't like, and it was not very useful anymore. So I tried to blue tack off some sub-assemblies for Scaven over the weekend, and it was like coming off onto my hand and like staining my hand. So this stuff is getting thrown out. But I got some new stuff. Ooh-hoo! White tack. So we'll see. I think it just kind of like disintegrated and expired. So, yeah.
Ooh-hoo.
Ooh-hoo! White tack.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. Definitely not. I got it off of Amazon. Also, not a sponsor. Nurgle doesn't need one. They've gotten a ton of stuff. Slaves doesn't need one. Skaven just got one. Khorne could use one, but Khorne already got some love with an amazing 3rd edition book. Did they? You know what, though? The thing is, though, and I think Carson and I have definitely talked about this, but maybe not on the air, is that, like, if they give I think the demons actually do need love. Like, Khorne got a major resculpt in this very first edition of Age of Sigmar. They were in the launch box with Stormcast. But like the demons are much older than that, and they cross over to 40k, which is why I think Nurgle got stuff a long time ago. Like, what was it? 2nd edition? Or was it 1st edition? I think it was 1st edition Age of Sigmar that got the Nurgle resculpt.
I don't remember, but I do remember when we were talking about this before, someone mentioned that 2025 is supposed to be like the year of chaos or something, and that it is a pretty strong possibility that we're going to see like the shared demon models getting resculpts.
Okay, wait. Why? I do remember someone talking about that before, that's supposed to be the year of chaos. But like, why do we know that? Like, who said that? Was it Games Workshop?
I don't know. At this point, I just read things from the chat and take them as fact.
Yeah, so. That's true. Yeah. I mean, we are streamers, and that's what streamers do. So, but yeah, like Nurgle, I think Zeech needs one, especially with the demons, because like the flamers, the horrors, like they're all ugly. Like instead of doing them like little like flames, or I mean, I guess it makes sense for the flamers. I don't know. They're just basically like blobs. Like they feel like they're still being like designed in green stuff. They're so simple and I don't know, boring. Like for the horrors, I would love to see the horrors move over to like, do you know who Shuma Gorath is?
Nope.
I hope nothing weird comes up when I Google this live, but I'm going to do it anyway. He's a Marvel character. There he is. This is what I actually want them to look like. The Hurs of Zeech. Basically, the sprite characters from Marvel vs. Capcom. Can you guys see this okay? Man, this website is also brutal. That's the best I could do, apparently. Yeah. Is this... Oh, this is already... It opened. Okay. Well, you guys get the idea. Hopefully you kind of know what I'm talking about. I think horrors could be a lot more interesting, but like right now they're just kind of like, it looks like something that I would make, you know, using green stuff. Like they're kind of boring. But Yeah. Shuma Gorath R34. What? I don't see R34 on here.
Don't.
Sorry, Rule 34. I did not.
Yeah.
You almost got me, Stark. You son of a. If you weren't coming on the podcast, man. Oh, that was close. Gitz is so getting Git Mob. Huh. I hope so. Although, to be honest, I would love to see a resculpt of the spider line more than anything. But I'm a spider guy. Give me AOS Wood Elves, and don't you dare say Sylvaneth are the new Wood Elves. Sean, I completely agree with you. I want Kurnothi, but I don't want it yet. Is that fair? I'm spent. I am so spent. I cannot afford Kurnothi, but I don't know what I'll have to do. I'll get a second mortgage or something if they come out anytime soon. What choice will I have, really? Actually, there's a really good short novel featuring wood elves and Scaven from the old world. Hour of Shadow, I think it's called. It's really good. Basically, like a Scaven. I don't want to spoil it in case people are gonna, I get you, Sean. I'm right there with you. I've told this story before. I apologize to Carson in advance, but when I first went into my first Games Workshop on Water Street, downtown Vancouver, I walked up to the Warhammer Fantasy Battles section, which was most of the store, because 40K who back in the day, right? And my buddy said, okay, you can pick anything but Wood Elves, because that's what I play. And I was like, damn it, that's what I wanted to play. And luckily, luckily he said that, because I ended up looking through all the books and I really liked Skaven. And then I bought the book and Deathmaster Snitch, and the rest is history. And now I'm where I belong. I like green stuff. Is that what it is? Warpstone, Wood Elves, trees. I don't know.
Nothing wrong with that.
What can I say? But and then when Idneth came out, that was the thing that I always wanted that I didn't know. I actually pre-ordered. Maybe I'll put Shuma Gorath away for now. As soon what happened was, for those of you that weren't there, and I know Sean was there because Sean was in the hobby before I was, because he already existed in the PMP. But we didn't know about Idneth. And then the Daughters of Cain book. What? Oh, sorry. Okay. For those of you that don't know what happened, Keith just donated 10 memberships. Okay. This is crazy. This is crazy.
It's rigged.
It's
rigged.
Rigged. Because that's you missed a get. Thank you so much, Keith. That's so incredibly generous, man. That's so freaking nice. Okay. Now, before we throw Ledivicus under the bus, which is our want, obviously, I will point out that Sean, who was just chatting, by the way, Ledivicus says, hi, Keith, and then he hits him. He tries to snipe him with the gift sub. But Sean also...
Hi, Keith turns around with a double barrel shotgun.
Yeah, I got him full of gift subs. He's like, gah. Yeah. And then Ledivicus did, what's her name? What's her name? The X-Men character, Kitty Pryde. She can go through walls, and he just did this, and all the bullets went through him and hit other people behind him. Not cool. Not cool, Ledivicus. But again, before we throw him under the bus completely, Asri didn't get one either. And Sean didn't get one either. And he is already, they've been regularly typing in the chat here. Right? So, yeah, exactly. Asri and Sean are both with you. So, we do we believe him though? Really? Are we just making?
No.
Okay.
No,
I'm glad you said
this is
that.
just playing nice. That's what we're doing.
Leviticus. Okay, remind me to message Leviticus after the show, and I want to send him a message. I don't know why I'm saying this over the air. If I'm going to message him and just be like, okay, like please, I hope it is actually enabled, right? Because if and when it eventually happens, that'll be like we'll do something. Like, do we say what we're gonna do?
I feel like we gotta go for a steak dinner at that point. Because all the memberships that people bought to get us to that point.
To fly to wherever, whoever, fly to Australia or whatever. Oh yeah, Jim got zapped on a stream he didn't even watch. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, at least Asri is with. Yeah, sorry, I saw that already. But like, okay, what can we do if someone gets Ledivicus? Dice?
Dice is the easy answer.
I know, but I got nothing.
I don't know. We'll think of something.
We'll think
more
of
McDonald's
something.
burgers. That's right.
Yeah.
We'll send dice in McDonald's.
Oh, yes. We'll send dice and a gift certificate to buy a certain amount of cheeseburgers. Yeah. Okay.
10 cheeseburgers
like
worth
this.
of gift certificate.
I like this plan.
Or about 75 cents. Yeah.
Okay. So Ledivicus says it's absolutely enabled. I just don't know how to prove it other than a screenshot. Ooh, a flask. That's a good idea too. So Ledivicus, at some point, we're going to have you on to talk about gits. And then live, you can show us. Then we'll get you hands up and try to snipe you. I mean, like you said, you know, Asri's with him, Sean's with him, but apparently Fred's going to have moonshine pickles at Worlds. What?
I don't know if I want that. I don't know if I completely want that. I've had moonshine peaches, which were fine. Moonshine cherries. I don't know if I want pickles.
I don't know either. I love a good pickle.
You basically just do a shot of whiskey and then a shot of pickle juice.
Pickle juice, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't.
That kind of works, but I feel like moonshine pickles is going to be a step too far, perhaps. I'll try it. I'll try anything once, but I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I'm curious. I would try it, you know. Yeah. I would definitely try that. But
I also feel like if there's any place that's going to do moonshine well, it's going to be the South, right?
That's true.
We've got our like foo-foo yuppie moonshine up here in Vancouver that's probably not very good.
Actually, there's some really good local moonshine.
Oh, is that?
You can get aged moonshine that's made in our city, and it's like aged in like casks, like whiskey. And I've had aged moonshine. I've had aged vodka, and there was one other one, but very good. And they make like an apple pie as well. The moonshine or whatever, you know.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of really good like gin around here, and particularly on the island too. There's a lot of really good gin, but I didn't know about moonshine.
I'm not really a gin guy though, so like even if it was good gin, like you know, if it's as long as it's not just gasoline runoff, then I'm, you know, okay, that's gin. Fair. You know, yeah. But
Newfoundland has screech. What does that mean? What is? I don't know that I would try something called screech.
Yeah. Oh dear, that's hilarious. It's not even a drink. It's just like just have people who run around and screech. You know.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just pure onomatopoeia. That's just what they named it because that's what you do when you drink it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's so awesome. Bailey's cheesecake. Ooh, that sounds good. Like, have you ever taken Bailey's and poured it over ice cream? Like vanilla ice cream? Ooh. That or, what's the other one? What's the South African one? Amaretto? Or whatever?
Is that Amaretto South African? Oh.
I can't remember. It's been so long, but someone told me about whatever the South African one was, is that they make from those fruits or whatever that fall from the tree. I can't remember. Sorry, everyone. I don't remember. But yeah, pour that over. It's... Okay. What am I thinking of? Anyway, you pour it over vanilla ice cream and it is damn good. Same with Bailey's. Both very good. But if you're gonna do that though, highly recommend.
Pat's so angry by claiming amarettos from South Africa.
I'm so sorry, Pat. I've been drinking. Okay, you might have missed it, but I decided tonight was the night. There is a South African drink. I don't remember what it is. I kind of like that I made Pat angry.
There's a...
Love you, Pat. So, Amarula. Thank you, Stark. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes more sense. Also, Beefy Crunch mentioned butterscotch schnapps.
Ooh, that sounds
on
good.
Ice cream is pretty good.
Okay, but if you're...
Have you ever had something called a buttery...
Wait. Buttery... That sounds amazing. But before I forget, because I keep trying to say this, if you're going to put Amarula or any of these things over ice cream, put it in the freezer and cool it down ahead of time. Otherwise, the ice cream melts way too quickly.
That makes sense.
Sorry, you were saying buttery nipple.
Yes. It's just
I'm assuming that's not a drink.
It is a drink. Yeah.
I was joking. I was hoping you were going to turn that into some kind of innuendo. Okay.
No. I'm just shutting you down.
Okay.
It's butter ripple schnapps and an Irish cream liqueur, and that's it. Those two things together.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I feel like it sounds like that's a great holiday drink. You know?
Yeah. I would say so.
Like you mix up like one of these things. Like you take buttery nipples, you put it in your ice cream, you mix it up, refreeze it. Maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure about this. Maybe refreeze it and then put it on like a nice Christmas pie. Right? We had a strawberry rhubarb pie over Thanksgiving.
Strawberry rhubarb is my favorite pie.
Is it really? I'm not sure what my favorite pie is. I love a good peach pie. And strawberry rhubarb, it's the classic. Like it's like the easy choice, right? Also, White Spot makes some really good blueberry pies and strawberry pies. Just regular, like straight up.
Can't go wrong with pie in general.
You can't go too wrong. Yeah, I agree. As long as there isn't too much cinnamon in the apple pie. I'm kind of off of cinnamon now. So I used to love it, but yeah, I for a while, like back when they didn't know what my gastro disorder was when I was undiagnosed, I went to like I did like Chinese medicine, and they like basically I was taking like cinnamon mixed with something else like in powder format and then, drinking it down. And I don't want to ever have any cinnamon ever again now. Like I was taking that for months. It was some kind of like concoction, and it might have helped. I'm not really sure. I've got a very open mind. It seemed to help a little bit, but yeah, I'm done with cinnamon. That's all I'll say.
That sounds pretty awful. But one time I had Buckley's, so I feel like I kind of know what you're talking about.
I actually have a crazier experience to do with Chinese medicine, but I can't explain it on the air. It's okay. It's not like, anyway, I won't, maybe I'll tell you another time. I'm just going to pour myself a little more whiskey. Yeah.
Just at the thought of it.
I need to bury that memory in sweet, delicious Speyside. cinnamon challenge. It was kind of like that. It was obviously mixed with something else because you can't like you basically can't just take a that much cinnamon. But shepherd's pie. Okay, wait. Are we just talking regular shepherd's pie? Because I love shepherd's pie. Or is that like a drink as well? Oh, I see. We're on the subject of pie. That's true.
Yeah.
I love shepherd's pie. Yeah.
It is really good, especially homemade. Really, really good.
Absolutely. My mom would make homemade shepherd's pie, and then she would also can beets in like vinegar, and you mix that in there, and it's unreal. Another weird thing you can stick. That's not weird because I think that's like semi traditional Scottish stuff, that they made. But a weird thing that you can stick in shepherd's pie that's really good is kimchi. It's actually legit.
Actually, that's not that surprising.
It probably isn't. And then okay, I've got another one. I really do like shepherd's pie. So right before you eat it, okay, this is like the most Japanese thing ever, but people won't even understand why. You add mayonnaise. You add like a little bit of mayonnaise. And it's insanely good. It's too good. Yeah.
That's the most British thing I've ever heard.
Maybe. They add mayonnaise to like all sorts of crazy stuff in Japan. Like people literally
That's very true, actually.
just eat mayonnaise over there. So yeah, not me.
You make me think I'm just gonna like get off the plane and it's just gonna be like the gate agent.
Here's your mayonnaise.
All right, welcome to Japan.
I'm on my break. Yeah.
Ugh. You just feel like have like a Snapple bottle.
Nope. No, I never saw anyone actually do it over there, but like there is like a lot of weird combos, like in that regard. Pumpkin pie with vanilla ice cream. I don't remember the last time I had pumpkin pie. I'd like to try it.
I feel like it's one of those things where like you probably have it a ton of times when you're a kid and when you're growing up and when you do like big family events and stuff for Thanksgiving, but
right.
It almost feels like you intentionally don't do it because you've had it so much, and then in doing so, you just haven't had it for years. So it's the same for me. I haven't had pumpkin pie in a really long time. It's good though.
Yeah. Well, and I think my mom used to mostly do strawberry rhubarb, but yeah, we would get it like Thanksgiving or Christmas time, like you said. But like as a kid, if you're going to choose between those two things, you're probably going to go strawberry rhubarb, like most kids are, right? So, yeah, pumpkin pie feels more like adult, right? But
that's it. I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong. What do you guys think in the chat?
I crushed some pumpkin pies as a kid. Let me tell you.
Did you? Okay,
Yeah.
Okay. And like everyone who doesn't know, Carson may be the meat king, but he's like the pie prince or something, right? You like your pies, right?
I do. There was a point a while back where I would play people at our like local store, and I would just bring pastries. Like I remember I baked a couple pies. I made some of those.
Really?
Yeah, and I made some of those like apple rings that I was talking about earlier in the stream.
What? What was this?
Long time ago when I was playing 40K.
Yeah. What?
I remember because there was a rule that was like no food in the shop.
Yeah.
But I was just like, what if I give you a quarter of this pie?
Yeah.
And the store owner was just like, I will make an exception.
That doesn't surprise me one iota. Yeah. The rules were made to be broken in that store.
It's like ample for bribery, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I remember... I know I won't bring that up, actually. But, and there was, like, another story that I was going to tell, too. But, like, it does involve, like, kind of my journey through, what's the word? Like, anxiety, social anxiety, and all that stuff. And, like, we were talking about doing it at some point. Like, I haven't forgotten. Like, when's Mental Health Month or whatever it's called?
Every month, Rob.
That's true.
Yeah.
What a hallmark moment. Now Get out. No one cares about your problems, Carson. We talked about like doing it before, and it seemed like something that people were interested in, but it's just one of those things where it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, man. Like some pretty personal
Supposedly
stuff,
it's May.
but like, what's that?
So supposedly it's May.
It's May. Okay. We're pretty far away from that.
Yeah, which means we don't have to think about it, which means it's not going to happen.
That's
right?
true. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe maybe around the holidays would be a good time because people sometimes struggle around the holidays. I know,
Especially here, where it just becomes like a 2-month rainstorm.
That's not what I was thinking of, but I actually never struggled here because my family's here. I actually mostly struggled when I was living in Japan because I worked or went to school every Christmas when I was in Japan, literally ever. Except in high school, but I still went to school because like everyone else was going there, and they said to the foreign kids like, you can take this day off. We know it's special to you, but it's not a holiday there. So I went to I went to my school and I brought a bunch of treats or something just to, you know, like I felt lonely and away from my family. You know what I mean? So yeah, but yeah. And then the next day we flew to Tokyo.
Fun.
Yeah. Yeah, we were on TV on New Year's Day. And so, on national television, which is like the most watched like day of the year. It's the day that everyone watches TV. And so we were on TV on New Year's Day. And then after that, the day after where we were going home back to Fukuoka, but they gave us all tickets to Disneyland. But like Christmas time is like the number one date time of the year in Japan. It's not like a family day. And Disneyland is like the most like quintessential like date place to go in all of Japan. And so we went there on it's not like Christmas. We weren't going there on Christmas. We were going there on like the 2nd of January, but it was still insanely busy. So I think the whole time we got like we were there for like 4 hours, and I think I got on 2 rides, maybe 3 rides. Yeah. So, yeah.
Wow.
But all that to say, I do not. But I know like some people, it's the holidays is a tough time. Like if you've lost someone or whatever. So maybe around the holidays would be a good time. I've had it floating around the back of my head since before I even had a channel, to be honest. Like, it's just like Warhammer's really helped me in a lot of ways, in that regard. So, and I know like, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but like there's some people that I've seen over the years in like, Vince's, stream, like not stream, but like in the comments or in the PMP, or, I know that there's like some somewhat well-known people who have struggled with it in like on the Warhammer TV side of things, on their Twitch channel and whatnot. I don't want to throw anyone's name out there. You know what I mean? That like maybe they don't want me talking about it, but I know like it's a common thing that people struggle with. So it was kind of a show idea that, I'm not sure like how we would do it. Like it would be basically like a lot of it would just be me talking about my journey in that regard, and then like I don't know, people in the chat and chiming in, and I don't know how it would work, but if it's something that people are interested in, like I know last time I said this, like people were like, yes, super interested, please do it. And then kind of didn't get around to it, but the holidays are coming up.
Yeah.
So
It's tough to know like what the format of something like that should be for sure. So I understand your not apprehension, but like the reason why it probably fell off. It's just you kind of never got past that point.
Yeah,
and I'm not sure
that really is it. Also, it's like, it's not something that like I want to talk about it. There's a reason why this is on my, like I've had 2 channels now over the past 8 years, right? And this is like the only channel I've ever really tried to do something with. But I've had this idea, since when I was doing that old channel, which was just like me like talking about stuff and doing some hobby stuff and whatnot. But like, yeah, there's a reason why I put it off as well. It's just like, it's not something like that I want to talk about But like, if it even helps one person, like, how can you not do it? You know? And like, it'd just be me talking about like what happened. It wouldn't even really be advice. It'd just be like, this is kind of what happened to me. And, you know, sometimes other people can just hear stuff like that and then they can identify. Like, you never know when it's going to happen. Like I stopped learning languages. Like, learning languages has been a huge part of my life since I was 16. And then I lost my job back in 2010, the Japanese company that I worked for in Vancouver. And I didn't like have an outlet for like speaking to people in other languages like I did at the time. So I kind of just stopped. I was just kind of like, it's too hard to learn languages on your own. And like, it's just not really possible. And then I saw this guy on YouTube, Xiaoma, NYC, and he speaks really good Mandarin. He just kind of goes around and like surprises people with his insanely good Chinese, right? And that didn't inspire me, even though I thought it was really cool. But then he started like learning languages on his own, like French and Spanish and like everything. He learned some Korean, all these different languages. Like he's learned like Navajo and like crazy, like rare languages, some of the rarest languages in the world. And so then I saw him doing that and I was like, I don't need anyone. If he can do it, I can do it too. And that's why I started up my journey of learning languages again. And so like, just like with that kind of in mind, you know, if it helped even one person, you know, just to hear about it, I don't know.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's
very true. No, not at all. Curious what the chat has to say.
Disagree. I'm talking too much. Yeah. Okay. I have to take off my sweater. I think the whiskey is heating up my body and Fair. I'm too hot.
Azri says, not to downgrade a real issue for some people, but if you notice PTSD symptoms in wargamers involving certain things. I'd like to know more about that statement. I'm not sure. I'm also not, I don't particularly know.
I didn't hear anything about what you said, by the way.
I was just reading Azri's comment about the, if you want to read it as well. He just said, for example, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, not to downgrade a real issue for some people, but have you noticed PTSD symptoms in war gamers involving certain things? I have not personally. I'm not sure. Oh, sorry. For example, last GT, 4 of the 5 people I played against went ham against Fusiliers, even though they were the least threatening unit in my army. Like overboard, overcommit, give away the game to kill. Wow, interesting. I don't know. I mean, and maybe they thought that they were still like they were in 3rd edition, where they were quite killy, and so like they just didn't know. I don't know. Like that's I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's one way or the other at all. I have not. Maybe Carson could speak about tournaments. I only play people I know. So, have you ever noticed?
Yeah, I mean, there are some people who it usually has to do with like interactions during the game more so than anything else, or like the result of the game. I've noticed, not to do with like a specific unit, but like people process
right,
like bad things happening in different ways.
Yep.
Particularly I've seen people who can be like really, really down on themselves for making a mistake that like ends up costing them the game. And I think that that's something worth talking about too, where it's like, this game is played on mistakes, right? If every single one of us was playing an exactly perfect game all the time, it wouldn't actually really be fun anymore. It would just be dice at that point. And like whatever is like the most meta viable.
Right.
Everyone makes mistakes, even if they're like tiny. You know, you kept your unit half an inch further away than you needed to, and you rolled a charge that just so happened to not be that extra inch that you needed. Right. When you didn't need to do that. You know, that happens all the time. And then, yeah. And also, some people go a step further too, where they have like preservation methods to not lose, i.e. cheating, where like they...
That's not what I thought you were going to say at all. I think about like bubble wrapping in multiple layers. Like, I can't lose Kragnos again. I can't lose him again.
No. I mean, like some people who like can't process losing in such a way that they'll like maybe you'll use like weighted dice, or you'll like pick up a couple extra dice that aren't
quick rolling
actually hits, or quick rolling, that sort of stuff. Like
measuring
nothing that's
wrong.
overtly.
Yeah. I mean, we've all, or most of us, like, unless your circle is pretty small, you've probably run into someone like that. There was a person who played 40K locally who was like so famous for cheating, and for doing that kind of thing, that he was just like, he would just never had opponents, but he just kept coming, and then Ryan played him in his first game. I won't mention any real details, in a certain location nearby where you and I used to play. I think you know what I'm talking about. And he played him, and then he was just like, this is my first time playing, and you guys made me play him. And they're just like, yep, that's what you got to do. Like, it was your first time playing, and none of us want to play him, so you got to play him first, and then now you can play with us because you played against him and you made it through. Or it's just like, guys, that's a bad idea. If you want to expand your club and whatnot, not a good idea. But Alex says, I cheat all the time against Carson. It doesn't get me anywhere. Yep. He just cheats right back.
That's right.
Tit for tat.
Hasn't noticed yet.
Leviticus, by the way, said earlier, I'd show up for sure, but not like that as a big ask. No, it is like, it'd be nice. Like, it's good to have people there that, are interested. And Pat said I would be down to help in whatever is necessary for a show like that. Yeah. I mean, like, it's more just kind of figuring out the format really than anything, like how would we even do it on a Tuesday? Would we just do it on another day as like a random, like, like an event of some kind? I don't know. I'm not saying either one of those things. I just want to get back to those comments. And then, I've seen the other things as well. People overcommit to Kragnos or Iron Guts. Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought you meant, like, at first, and then I was like, no, that doesn't really make sense. But I make enough mistakes that the allotment is accounted for, and the rest of you can make fewer. Yeah. I mean, oh man, yeah. One of my gaming friends got traumatized in one game by my Pyroclast in 30K first edition. Would commit his whole army to kill them, totally started using them as a distraction card effects. That's a real thing, isn't it? Like, I noticed that with, quite a few units in AOS 1. I was able to do that a lot more with, like, my Dreadsaurian for Seraphon. It was like the most toothless, gutless thing, but it just had a lot of wounds. So I would just throw it up there, and they're like, it's like at the time it was the biggest model in Age of Sigmar. People were like, oh God, like I better like really commit to killing this thing. And then they get there and like that's all it does. Like, ha, ha, ha. But I'm over here now, like who'd have thought my most deadly unit at the time was a bunch of Ripperdactyls, or not even a bunch. I had a few, but
bow snakes now. What is the profile for bow snakes now?
Are they good?
Scary?
I just
typed bow snakes into the app. It's not what they're called. Sorry, they're called.
Yeah, right. I don't know what they're called.
Blood Sisters.
Blood Sisters.
Oh no, those are the melee ones. My bad.
Is it
Blood Stalkers?
Right. That's right.
Yeah, Blood Stalkers. They have, so if you reinforce it, it's a unit of 10. They have 3 attacks each, 3s and 4s, but they're auto wound.
Oh, before you, good night, Beefy. Thanks for joining us. Yeah.
Went from crit mortals to crit auto. That's true.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, a lot of stuff that used to crit mortal no longer does it. I'm assuming they gave them crit auto wound.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
And then if they don't move, they get crits on 5s instead of 6s. So I guess
good.
it's 31 shots. You all out attack. Then effectively you have 31 hits with the crit. I mean, you're still handing someone 15 or 16 saves on a...
They're still pretty good.
On Ren 1. It's not terrible.
Yeah.
I guess you're paying how many points for that though? It's 280 points for that. That's not bad.
Right.
For 10.
Sorry,
yeah, they
how many shots each
granted,
again?
granted, Matt's bringing up very good points where it's like compared to what they used to be with like Mortals in Edition, being able to shoot twice and stuff like that. Yeah. That's fair. Yeah, I read them and I went that's not bad, and Matt's right, they're not bad, but they used to be insane. So
they used to be insane, and I'm finding a lot of the time their points aren't really changing given the new lack of crit mortal in it. And so, yeah, a lot of that stuff is, very lackluster. Yeah. Carson is reminding people in the chat that he plays an army with mostly 5-up saves.
That's right. Actually, I'm going to be playing slaves my next tournament.
That's true.
Might even bring them to the world champs. Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
You better get some practice in then, huh?
Yep. I got a game tomorrow against John, actually.
Nice.
And then probably won't have time to do any more this week unless they're like random pickup games. But yeah, I'm definitely going to start getting the reps in. So
nice.
Yeah.
Dang. And when is the World Championships? It's in November.
Late November.
Late November. Cool. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's the 21st to 24th, I want to say.
Nice.
Second to last weekend of November.
Wow. Actually, it's not that far away, huh?
No, it's like a little over a month.
That's crazy. Because, like, it feels like we're still, like, in September. Especially because, like, over the weekend, a lot of people don't know, it was, like, 22 degrees here on Saturday. Celsius. So that's like 72 degrees Fahrenheit, right? And so, yeah, it was really warm. It was unseasonably warm this whole weekend. And now it's dropped back down to fairly normal temperatures for us, like 10 or so degrees, 10 or 12 degrees. Yeah.
I could still walk around outside with a flannel and shorts though. Like
that's what
totally
I did.
Fine.
I literally did that today. I went out in a flannel. I went out in this t-shirt and a flannel shirt and jeans. And I was more than warm enough. Like I was totally fine. So, but that's just growing up here though too. Like we, some people were, got used to the dank, but we were born here and we thrived here. It hit 38 Fahrenheit? Where in the hell are you living, Azri? That's crazy hot. Are you like in Death Valley or something like that in California?
38 Fahrenheit would be really cold.
Sorry, Celsius. Right. That's crazy that I said Fahrenheit.
He's in Texas. It gets hot there. Very hot.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. I didn't realize I didn't remember that you were in Texas.
Oh, wow. That is Celsius. Okay. Jeez.
Whoa. Yeah.
That's like hotter than it got this year.
This entire summer. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we went over like 32 this year.
It depends on whether if you're talking about the actual temperature, then you're correct. I think, but the feels like temperature got up to about like 36 or something like that, maybe 37. But that's very different. It's because of it's higher humidity here. Not than necessarily in Texas. Like if you're from Houston or whatever, I think it's much higher humidity there. But yeah, certain parts of North America were higher than average. Yeah. Texas, baby, we barbecue ourselves. Gross. But the barbecue is legit, so I could go either way.
Yep. Actually, I just went to Smoke and Bones recently, the barbecue place on the North Shore here.
Oh, cool.
Really good.
Really? Awesome.
Yep. Didn't realize they won a bunch of awards and stuff. So I'm sure it doesn't shake a stick to Texas barbecue, but still.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. I mean, like, you'll like go over, like, if you got like Chinese food in China, you'd be like, oh, I've never had Chinese food in my entire life. You know what I mean? Or like a lot of the time people experience that with Mexican food here, where it's just like, oh, this is like, I've been eating like Mexican McDonald's this whole time. Like I've never had actual, anyway, you get it.
Ezri, if you can convince them to host the next North America Masters in Texas,
Yes.
and assuming I make the team, then I'll be there.
That would be rad. Yeah. Where did you say where you were in Texas before? I think you did.
I was assuming because I think he's in the Austin Weird Knobs Club, so probably around Austin-ish.
Okay.
Not to dox you.
Yeah. I mean, we regularly dox each other and ourselves. So, turnabout's fair play. Keith said randomly Bellacore 2x or 2 times 6 Varangard, 5 knights, and whatever else fits. You can lose friends. I mean, you're assuming that he still has friends from playing ogres and other armies in the past. Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. There you go, Keith.
Rob's not even my friend anymore.
No. I put up with him because I have to. He's got the craziest blackmail on me. You guys would not believe.
It's bad.
It's
real bad.
Yeah.
Here it is.
But you told me it was black. That's not even black. Okay, I'm not worried about it anymore.
Okay, sorry. White man.
So I taxidermied a few baby seals and put it in front of a school. What's the big deal? If the letter isn't even black, then I don't care. Okay.
Also, Stark says y'all should talk about the master standings in upcoming tournament. We could do that. You want to open the PNW Masters rankings? I can send them to you.
Yes, please send them to me. Once you send them to me, then I will open up Facebook.
Done.
So, thank you. Okay. So I was going to say, so not everyone gets like a ding dong in their head. That kind of came out a little wrong, but I'm gonna let
Move
it.
on.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess this is like how the sausage is made, PNW team wise. It's all thanks to Jeremy Cooper. All thanks to him.
Okay, it was not. Why is this bugging out on me? Okay, there we go. Boop, boop, and boop. Okay, so
if you scroll down, that is the top 24 people in the PNW, as ranked specifically by your attendance at Pacific Northwest tournaments. So like this wouldn't count. If you went to LVO, this wouldn't count if you went anywhere except the Pacific Northwest for a tournament. Those tournaments don't count.
This is crazy. Okay, one second. Can everyone see this? Okay, I'll scroll it up a little bit. Okay, so no offense to anyone, right? I was just talking about this with Eric, but Matt Beasley might be the best player I know in Age of Sigmar. He thinks about the game on a crazy level. And everyone kind of got to see that last week. And thanks again to him. Oh, he's here, actually. Now I feel like I'm talking about him weirdly in front of him. But, like, look at Matthias's score. Like, Matt Beasley is insanely good. And I mean, like, yeah, it's a dice game, blah, 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 blah. But, like, Matthias's score is 100, 94, 97, and 96. Like, what a jerk. That's crazy. That's crazy. Wait, what are these symbols for?
You're talking Northwest and
Yeah.
The Pacific Northwest has kind of been divvied up into 4 different regions. You have North, which is effectively like all of British Columbia. You have West, which is actually the Seattle area.
That makes sense.
You have South, which is going to be like Portland and.
Oh, okay. I see. Right, Portland. Yeah, like
down into Oregon, basically.
I see.
And then you have East, which is like Spokane and Idaho.
I see.
Yeah.
Idaho's just like Spokane, the city, and like the area, and then all of the state is It's
basically sense. It's Spokane, and then also Jared Brown is what it is. Who's from Idaho, and so this is the top 24 standings for the region, as determined by your placings in PNW specific tournaments. So this would include like the U.S. Open Tacoma. It would include like Sparkle Party, Cake or Death, Wet Coast, Northern Wastes. It'll include Kippers. It's going to include Feast of Blades, which is going to be a tournament that I'm going to be going to with Kenrick in about a month from now. Remembrance Day weekend. And yeah, so this basically at the end of the season, which I think is going to be Feast of Blades, will be the last GT that gets factored into this. The top 4, I think, from each region basically get an invite to the Pacific Northwest Masters tournament, and then the remaining people in the top 24 get invites as well. So you see how there's like a ton of people from the West that are kind of, and North actually, that are on the top 24. Only the top 4 of those are guaranteed invites, and then the top 4 from every region are going to get an invite, and then it just goes from there, kind of thing, right?
Cool.
So, yeah.
I was making a face because I highlighted Alex's name, and it's written in my contract that I have to make a face whenever I highlight his name. So,
Fair.
Dale's in there. He's right above you.
Yep.
And you have one tournament where you only got a 50, huh?
So the reason why, all right. The reason why is that RTTs only count to a maximum of 50.
Oh, shoot. That's crazy. So you had 50 out of 50 points.
Well, because I won Richmond reroll.
I get it.
Yeah.
That's still crazy though. So like you basically need to go to another tournament and have it not be an RTT.
That may or may not be why I signed up for Feast of Blades.
Fair enough.
I needed my 5th GT result. Because I think last year I had like 6 or 7 in the Pacific Northwest, but this year I've just been traveling too much, so I don't have as many results in the Pacific Northwest, which is why some of my GTs don't look so good. There's a 76 on there, which isn't great.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even notice. That's why Dale's above you, because even though he also got 50 in an RTT, or maybe not. Maybe
no, I mean, he's gone to the same amount of GTs I have. He's just done better on
I know.
with them.
No, what I'm saying is like, yeah. But I'm just saying like, because he got 50 in his number 1 slot as well, and I'm assuming that's the same RTT, but I don't know. Yeah.
No, I think that was Aegis that he got a 50 at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But that's also an RTT, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I know Aegis mostly does RTTs, so.
They do a GT as well, but it doesn't get over 24 players. And GT is considered to be equivalent to an RTT as far as PNW Masters rankings are concerned, unless it gets to 24 players.
It's got to be 24 players and over.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you scroll up and you go to there's a little hamburger menu on the top left there, and then if you go to scoring.
Where's on the top left?
Oh, sorry. Mine is, if you just go to the scoring tab, basically.
Okay. Scoring. Yeah.
And if you scroll down, it kind of goes over all of the stuff there.
Okay.
So you have your local like 1-day event.
Yeah, I see.
And it doesn't matter if your 1-day event has like 80 people at it. It caps at 50, right? It has to be a 2-day GT, and then for it to be an actual like fully scored GT, it has to be at least 24 people at the event.
Wow.
And even then, if you have to have 60 plus players to get a perfect 100 for first place. Yeah. So it's got to be like a big event.
No kidding. That's crazy.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Well,
and then what's up?
Didn't he have 100 on there? No?
Yeah, because I think he won Cake or Death. Remember?
Oh, I see. Because it's from last year. Got it.
Well, no, this is this calendar year, 2024.
Wow. Yeah. It's been a long year.
Yes, it was February.
Right. Yep. Yeah, that makes sense. Crazy. Wow. I don't see any other hundreds on here so far. I'm on the hunt for more hundreds. Nope. He's the only one with 100 on there. Incroyable. By the way, earlier someone said, y'all let Mason play? He's a madman. And then Stark said, he's our madman. I like that.
True.
Matthias confirmed bully, also not wrong. But he's our bully. So there you go. Turnabout and all that. Dice do dice things. Player skill means you have less misplays or at least know when you misplay. Yeah. I remember when y'all came down to Hammerfest. I think we chatted briefly. That's awesome. Matt Beasley said, Matthias beat the crap out of me for 2 of those, but got Revent at SPDM. Oh, you got your revenge. I see. I didn't get there. Carson number 13 and isn't even going to play Scaven. Boo. Boo. I second that boo. And I third, because there was 2 boos. So I third that boo and I fourth that boo. Boo.
Well, boo.
Although it is the smart move. I would not play Scaven if I was going to play like the most competitive thing possible. Would probably not do that. I think there's gas
for them now. Yeah.
I think there's gas. I think there's gas. I think it's going to be hard though, man. Like, and like to even stand a chance, I think you need Scourgers. And I think they're a little overpriced.
I don't think that's. I disagree. I think it's rattling guns that you need.
Rattling guns do more damage to an average save, but they're like really bad when you're doing the if you're doing like what's it called, covering fire, because they're hitting on 5s at that point, and you can't give them the +1. Now, if you've got an Arch Warlock, you're doing it for free, but Scourgers are hitting on 2s normally. So then you go to 3s, maybe 3s and 3s. And if you're facing STD, which are like near the top of the pile most of the time, you're going to be running into a lot of cavalry, and they're extra good against cavalry. So you've got at least -2 rend against cavalry. So I don't know. I think I might take both. I like rattlings. I'm building rattling guns first. Okay, that is my first thing. But I think you also need Scourgers in a separate thing. But
yeah, I think the scary thing is basically going to be someone popping out 6 rattling guns from like a knothole or something like that, where you absolutely don't want them shooting, and it's on their turn, and they're getting probably +1 to hit and wound because of the scryer ability, and they're just going to destroy something. Like, I think on average, what is that? Sorry,
the problem is though, is that they are 15 inches shooting, right?
Yeah.
And then you can redeploy at the end. And then if you have other shenanigans too, like
you probably,
like
I don't
like
think
Khorne's, like you're just never going to shoot them, right?
I don't think Skaven's worried about Khorne. That's not what you.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
But you got 63 shots and it's crit auto wound, right?
Crit 2 hits.
Crit 2 hits.
Yeah.
So you're getting an extra 10.5 hits on average.
Yeah.
Doing some quick math here.
They're both crit 2 hits though.
I know, but you're handing someone 35 saves on average with rattling guns.
Yeah.
Which doesn't, like, even if you're on a 3-up save and you all out defense, you're still dealing like 12 damage to like really high value saves, which is like, it's pretty terrifying.
Yeah, but like if they also have a 5-up ward, like a lot of things do, you know, I don't know, like I don't know. Like
that was
all out
average.
defense. All out defense though.
I was factoring that in.
Oh, okay. All out defense and a 3-up save.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. 12.
You're still getting 12 damage through on that. From
that's
it's a 300 point unit, right?
300 points. Yep.
For 6 of them. You probably have 2. You might even have 3. And
but like, okay, but what does Scourgers get? Scourgers are more points, right?
The fact that Matt is like vehemently saying in the chat, he says rattlings are terrible. No one use a calculator when reading them. Go away.
Yeah.
Like, but anytime the characteristic is.
First of all,
D6,
I'm taking rattling guns first. Just to be clear, that is my first choice. They are built. They are right here. I meant to prime them this weekend. but I didn't get a chance to it. It was a very busy weekend. I have 6 of them ready to go. Okay. Rattling gun or scourgers. What are scourgers? They're the same. Okay, so first of all, let's find out what scourgers do on average. Okay. On average. So hitting on 2s. Now, with rattling guns, are you calculating for giving them +1 to wound? You did. Okay. So assuming you have the Scryer ability active, you poop them out of a gnaw hole. Okay, now what about scourgers? So it's the same thing, right?
Yeah, so you're getting 12 d6 shots instead of 18 d6 shots, right?
Yeah.
So 12 times 3.5 is the average.
Yeah.
So that's wrong. Sorry, one second. 12 times... No, that wasn't wrong. Sorry, my
okay, I was like,
input were wrong.
That sounded right to me.
So you have 42 shots there. You have
crit 2 hits.
Crit 2 hits.
Yep.
So that means you're getting an extra 7 hits, basically. So you've got 42 shots. You're hitting on 2s.
Yep.
Which gets you about 35 hits plus 7.
Okay.
Because crit 2.
Yep.
So you're basically back at 42. It's like 41.8 or something, right? Okay. Then you're assuming +1 to wound.
Yep. Same thing as the rattling guns.
Yeah.
So
you're handing someone 27 or 28 saves.
Okay.
At rend 1, assuming it's not into cavalry. And then if you're all up defensed on a 3-up save, that means you're getting 33% of them through. So you're doing about 9 damage on average instead of 12.
Instead of 12.
Yeah.
But
however,
yeah,
if it's rend 2 and it's into cavalry,
yeah,
you're getting, it's almost the same amount of damage.
Thanks for joining us, Matt. Appreciate it. Hope you have a great night. Okay. So same amount of damage into cavalry. Worse into normies, right?
Yeah.
And now, but they're more points, you say, right? Okay. But what about when you once per game make them do 60 shots instead of 2d6?
Calculating one moment.
Now we're cooking with gas. Bow snakes are best shooting units. Keep the cost of 2 rattlings down. I like the way you think, Chris.
So if you do your once per game, 60 shots.
Yeah.
You are dealing on average 1 more damage than rattling guns normally do.
No way.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense because they're normally doing 7 shots each. So you're literally getting 30% more. Because 3.5 times 2, they're 2d6 each.
Yeah.
Those are 3d6
remember,
each.
It is 30% more, actually. Almost exactly. Because remember I said you're doing 9 damage on average to a 3-up save with all-out defense. Right?
With Scourgers, yeah.
With Scourgers. This increases it to 13.
9 to 13.
So,
but then, and you also included the +1 to wound?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. And then on average, rattling guns were doing 12.
Maybe I should go with rattling guns. That's crazy. Although but if they're into cavalry, it does give you more options too, right? Like,
yeah, it's basically like Matt said. Like Scourgers and rattling guns do similar damage, and then the covering fire is probably better on Scourgers.
Definitely better. Yeah,
2s going to 3s is better than 4s going to 5s.
Yeah.
But they're more points. You're getting that, like, again, if you're going into someone that has cavalry, it's great.
Yeah.
But
unless they're Nighthaunt cavalry.
Yeah, exactly. Nighthaunt cavalry, it doesn't matter.
I think it depends on your local meta. Like if you're running into a lot of Idnith, especially if you're running into a lot of Slaves to Darkness. My plan is this, because I want variety of sculpt anyway. Okay. I was originally going to magnetize them, but I think they're just going to look bad if I do. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to build 6 rattling guns. That's what I'm working on right now. I'm going to build and paint them, right? And then I'm going to build and paint 6 Scourgers. And then if I want to take all Rattling Guns, I put the 3 Rattling Guns in the front. You know what I mean? And I think as long as I'm saying everything's a Rattling Gun, I don't think it's like a big deal. I don't think the average person's even going to notice that there's a couple of Scourgers in there as well. What do you think? I don't want to magnetize, and
I mean, you're not going to tournaments, so I think it doesn't.
Anyway, that's true. Would it matter anyway if everything was a Rattling Gun? If you're just like everything's a Rattling Gun, you don't need to. They're all Rattling Guns.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right? Okay.
I mean, at least I would be fine with it. Like,
yeah.
Probably, like if I were a TO, I would probably be like, it's at the discretion of your opponent because you're fundamentally bringing different models that are usable in the same army.
That's true. But like, you wouldn't be doing like 6. You wouldn't be doing like 6 Scourgers on one side and 6 Rattling Guns on the other. You'd have like 3 Rattling Guns in the front and like, or I guess sometimes you're going to put them in a line. I don't know. Like you said, I'm not going to tournaments, so luckily I don't have to deal with any kind of annoying people. I feel like I talked about it with Eric, and he's like, if they don't let you, then they're kind of a tool. You know what I mean? Like, that was his opinion. But like, yeah, I mean, that's fair. You know, I wouldn't want anyone to like feel bad about it regardless, but yeah. But then like, okay, if they thought that they were Scourgers, right? Then it's just like, what's the downside? Like, they have the same range. You know what I mean? They do a little bit less damage on average. I guess that's the potential. Yeah. I don't know. I was just curious about what people thought. It's not going to really change what I'm going to do. Like, I need my variety of sculpt, and I'm not going to tournaments, so there's no like impetus for me to like build the best thing that's right now, you know? I've got a bunch of like old warp fire throwers from the what's it called? Island of Blood kits. So I was never going to build flamethrowers regardless. And some people actually think that flamethrowers are the best. I don't personally agree because the range is shorter at 10 inches. Like, it's really hard to get people with the covering fire, even though they hit on 2s as well. And they come stock with -2 rend. And they, what do you call it? What was the other reason? Oh, they're much cheaper. They're 130 points. But I don't know. I think first, before I do that, I'm probably going to actually spec into, what are they called? Acolytes. I think they're bad, but they look freaking awesome. Globadiers. Sorry. They used to be called Scryer Acolytes. Originally, they were called Globadiers, and I was calling them Globadiers, it felt like, through all of Age of Sigmar, until they changed them to back to Globadiers, and now I'm still calling them Acolytes. Yeah, they just look super cool. They're like a core memory for me of fantasy. They were like one of my favorite models back in the day. I still have 10 of the old metal ones, and I'm going to paint up the new ones. I don't know, like, so you got like 6 wounds on like a 6-up for like the flamethrowers and the Rattling Guns and everything. And like, yeah, they hide. But with the Globadiers, they're 10 wounds on a 6-up. And they also hide. And they have a 10-inch range. And they're 3s and 3s -2 rend D3 damage. You know, not very many shots, but they're quality shots. And they're anti-infantry. And if they have, I think it's 10 or more models, then they do +1 damage or something. So like, I think they're overpointed. I should probably talk about this next week when we do the Scaven review. Huh? Maybe I'll do that. At least we were talking about Age of Sigmar, you know?
That's true.
Now, back to whiskey. Oh, right. So, yeah. Hear that, Carson? I don't have to deal with any annoying people. Rob just said nice things about you. I cursed you. I cursed him. Oh, dear. He just, like, obliterated. Oh, he's back. Never mind. I was worried for nothing. I wasn't really worried. Yeah, it is the cost. I just think that Scourgers are going to go down. Like they're already like they're doing less. By the way, is that not a clear indication that GW really doesn't know how to point their models? Like, couldn't they have just run a basic algorithm like Carson just did? That's free on like many apps to like calculate damage against different saves. Couldn't they have just done that and figured out that Rattling Guns should probably be pointed the same as Scourgers, and they're just different like uses?
Probably not the same. Like I think that
You think Scourgers should be more expensive than Rattling Guns, even though Rattling Guns are doing more damage on average?
I almost wish that they didn't have that whole like reliable amount of shots thing. Because here's the thing, like
Right.
because
we're paying for that. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
that's true. Random attacks.
Yeah, if you're random attacks, you could roll 18 dice and not roll a single 4-up, right?
Yes.
And all of a sudden, if you do that, it's not good.
But to do that with the Scourgers, you need to pay for the Galvanier. So,
yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true.
Like, what would have been better is if the Galvanier, or like, let's say the Galvanier buffs up Scourgers, and like the Bombardier buffs up Rattling Guns, and they both have a similar thing where they can be like, pull out, let out the lead or whatever, and do like way more shots. That would be cool. What's interesting too is they got rid of like the more warp fire effects from all three or all two of the other units. You can't do that anymore. I think that's interesting about like where their design sort of space is at. The Brood Terror is the only example you need that they don't know. That's true. That they don't know how to point things consistently. Yes. The Brood Terror. I've had some people, Litificus, say like, oh no, like star my show. Like he wouldn't go down. And it's like, okay, who are you playing? What army were you playing? Like, yeah, in a perfect world sometimes, like, and they openly said that they were getting off their 5-up Molder, 5-up Ward ability, like every turn on him. Like, so like that just changes fundamentally what he is. You know what I mean? Because it's not like he even benefits from the other Molder ability. He has the same amount of chance of getting any benefit at all as he does of taking mortal wounds. And anyway, I'll stop. Maybe. I promise nothing. I hope that wasn't too loud. This is like the HPA, the Hell Pit Abomination versus the new Brood Terror. The cheaper unit performs somehow better. Yeah, exactly. Jim says, losing the more warp power isn't interesting, Rob. It's criminal, sir. He's not wrong. It did make them more interesting, but it's also kind of nice that we can just like as a Scaven player, wow, what is going on? How are you doing this voodoo? Carson. How? Nice. Dang it. Yeah. We're pretty smart.
Yeah.
Wound on a 4-up is the great equalizer. Yeah, but they can get the +1 to their wound 73% of the time or whatever it is. Approximately.
It's a 2-up?
It's a 2-up, yeah.
83% of the time.
Yeah. Oh, 83. Sorry. Duh. What did I say? 93?
73.
Oh, 73. I don't even remember.
What happens if you roll a 1? Do you take damage? Or does it just not happen?
You take D3 mortal wounds.
Oh.
And I guess that's their version of more, but you don't have a choice somehow. You just take it. Or I guess you have the choice not to roll the ability. But like, yeah, you get +1 to wound on a 2-up, and then on a 6 you get an additional Pip of Rend. But like there really isn't a choice unless you've got like 1 left and you might lose it on a perfectly bad roll.
Yeah. It's actually that Pip of Ren that scares me the most. Because like if you have Rattling Guns on Ren 2,
Yeah,
Stop.
baby.
Stop.
Yeah.
Hop pits.
Or Scourgers on Ren 3 against Cavalry. The other thing, though, too...
Whatever. You and your Scourgers.
The Scourgers look cooler, though. They're little mini warp lightning cannons. They're handheld warp lightning cannons. Okay? Like, of course I got to build like 6 of those. What choice did I have? No choice. And you all know it's true. I'm going back to this other picture. Where is it? Oh, thank God. I was being blinded by GW's shiny... Yeah, exactly. Now you know how it feels. Now you know, you pasty piece of crap. Or you just look pasty because it's shining off of your face. Team Rattling.
Which ones are Scourgers again?
Okay, Scourgers are the ones with the warp lightning looking cannons.
Gotcha.
Yeah. There's the flamethrowers, which look the dumbest by all accounts. It's just like a big like fire hose looking thing. And then the Rattling guns are cool. Like Gatling guns are cool. I love them in Total War. They're like the best thing in like the whole Scaven army in Total War as well. I just realized. I don't know. The Scourgers look so freaking cool, man. How can you not? How can you not? It also doesn't hurt that I have a list. One of the lists I've built with 2 units of 6 weapons teams. It's like perfectly on the nose. I think it's like 2,000 points on the nose, or maybe just slightly under, and it has a unit of Scourgers. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm building towards. First, it'll be Rattling guns, then it'll be Scourgers, and then, when inevitably Scourgers are just not as good as I'm hoping they are, But the other thing, too, though, is if you feel like you roll poorly, like if you don't roll your 4-ups like you want to, then Scourgers are kind of attractive. You know what I mean? Even if it's just like a, what do you call it? Like a, what's the word? Superstitious kind of way, like actually, I think this happened in the battle report, but I was rolling my 5-up wards way better than my 4-up and, my 4-up saves, right? So there's something about it. You cannot beat the cool factor of Gatling guns. Sound of A10 flying overhead. I don't know, man. Like, we have Gatling guns in this world. You know what we don't have? Is warp-powered laser cannons. Right? Like...
We do. They're called warp lightning cannons.
What do you mean? I've never seen a warp lightning cannon in real life.
Oh, in real life. Sorry. My bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, embrace the power of the brrr. It's fine, Rob. You love what you love, even if no one wants to agree with you. Apparently, I didn't even think this was going to be like a decision. I didn't even think that there was going to be anyone that disagreed with me that, like, magic cocaine-powered laser cannons are not cooler than just like a minigun. Like Jesse Ventura has one in the movie Predator. You know what? I feel like I'm turning against my own point at this point. That was not the point I wanted to make, because that's a very cool scene. Yeah. I've lost all credibility at this point. I'm just going to have some water.
Let you cool off. Yep. I'm looking at screenshots of that scene right now, and it's about as cool as I remember.
Yeah, exactly. It's I guess it's been a while since you've seen it. Some of the languages in it is pretty eye-opening.
Yep. Yeah.
But overall, it's a very, very cool movie. It does hold up in terms of like its cool factor and whatnot. Just not always in certain other ways.
I'm also very happy that you can type the phrase Jesse Ventura Predator into Google and it comes up with just a movie and like no scandals or anything like that. You're like, okay,
that's good. That is good. I think his like biggest scandal that I know of is just him running for office. As an actor, you're just like, come on, man.
He won. He was the governor of Minnesota.
No, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
For a while. Yeah. No, I know. I'm just saying, like, just becoming the governor of Minnesota as an actor is just like, come on, man. Like Gary Coleman. Like, actually, Gary Coleman didn't win, did he? Well, anyway.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Ronald Reagan was an actor, wasn't he?
Who's that?
Ronald Reagan.
Oh, Ronald Reagan was. That's true. But I don't.
Arguably, Trump was an actor. I guess, like, yeah, he was in Home Alone. He was an actor.
Was he in Home Alone?
Yeah, he was. The one where he goes to New York.
Way too political, even for. Yeah, I think you're right. I'm sure you're right. I don't remember Home Alone that well. Was it in the original Home Alone?
It was the one where he goes to New York. I remember
That's
that.
Home
I remember
Alone
there's
2.
that like pigeon lady. Yeah. I remember.
Right. That's 2.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remembered the pigeon lady, but I do not remember Trump. Reagan was an actor, not a good one. That's funny. The image of
Ronald Reagan also invented birds in 1983. I don't know if you knew that.
He invented birds? Wow.
Yeah.
I thought the dinosaurs invented birds.
No.
Stupid, Rob. Stupid. It's Rattling Guns all over again. I couldn't be more wrong.
Stark in the chat. Can't wait to come talk SC. Just nothing to do.
I know. I'm so sorry. Okay. Stark,
this is what happens when we don't have content for a week.
Exactly. Okay. So get on it, GW. By the way, okay, back to actual GW content. This is a serious conversation, okay? There is something that I want them to come back with. Actually, I'm going to get it ready, okay? Not Age of Sigmar, Carson, okay? Like, it's not a main game. It's not Age of Sigmar. It's not 40K. It's not Necromunda or anything else like that, okay? What does the chat think I'm talking about? And what do you think I'm talking about? There's something I really want them to bring back. Little dead air.
I don't know. More time?
Oh, God, dang it. Yes, I do want that. But I don't think they're going to do that. Yeah, okay. That would be the best thing. To be honest, that would actually be better than what I'm about to say. Yeah, Mordheim is like, I don't think it's ever going to happen though, right? Because like it's from the old world. Like a lot of people think it's the best game that they ever invented. Let's see. There we go. Okay. You guys ready? One second. Battlefleet Gothic would be amazing too. I guess it turns out that there's a bunch of things that I want, but Pat got it. It's Space Hulk. Did you know, Carbson, that the 4th edition of Space Hulk came out in 2014?
I did not know that.
So it's been 10 years since Space Hulk came out. And therefore, that's what I want. I really want a new edition of Space Hulk. I had the opportunity back in the store that shall not be named to buy the 3rd edition copy. But the 3rd edition copy is the same as the 4th edition copy, but with less content. So I was kind of like, and I stuck my nose up and I never bought it. And I'm kind of regretting that now because I ended up buying with my son like a new board game called Nemesis, and it's basically like you're living out the plot of the Alien movie, kind of like Space Hulk, but it's not GW or Alien franchise related, and it looks really cool. We just got it yesterday. And so we just like watched videos on how to play it and read through the instructions, and it looks freaking awesome. But I was like thinking about it when we were talking about getting it and everything. I was like, I wish Space Hulk, like if Space Hulk was here, we wouldn't even need this game. It actually looks really cool because you can, so basically you can play it solo, which I'm never going to do unless it's just for like learning the rules or something like that. Maybe you can play it co-op, or you can play it, I think they call it like competitive, and it's the same as co-op, but everyone has like a secret thing that they need to accomplish. So like one person like needs to make sure that player 2 dies or whatever. And like one person has to make sure that the ship goes to Mars instead of Earth. And if that happens, then anyone who's like in the sleep chamber or whatever dies. So like it basically will kill everyone. But like you don't really know if you can trust them, and it's very thematic to the original Alien movie, where a bunch, or the Alien franchise in general, because you had Weyland Yutani where they were like, you know what I mean, like people were up to no good, like Paul, what's his name? Not Paul Rudd.
Verhoeven.
Is it Verhoeven? The guy from Mad About You? I don't know. Okay. What's his name? The guy from Mad About You. He plays the company man who betrays everyone in the Aliens movie. Yeah. Battlefleet Gothic would be freaking sick. And so would Epic, to be honest. You guys, you came up with, probably better answers than me. But I just really want Space Hulk. That's basically what I wanted to say. Yeah. Man of War. Yeah, Dreadfleet. Yeah, it was actually, Matthew, I was just talking about Paul Reiser. Thank you, Pat. Someone over 30 like me. Carson. Or I think he's similar to my age. Don't you dare leave. How dare you? How dare you blink out of existence? Thank you. Yeah, the guy from you weirdo. I knew he was going to go again too. Because you held the camera like you held it up there, What happens if oh wow. I can just skitter leap out of this place. He's got the beer goggles on, or the whiskey goggles. Cheers! Nice. Good use of the emote. Whoa. Okay. No one look at Carson. You'll get sick. I actually have Dreadfleet, Matthew. And we talked about using it, or Andy and I talked about using it in a new campaign. In another campaign. But he said he always wanted to do a Battlefleet Gothic kill team 40K campaign where you're using all the different games that they make for 40 in the 40K universe, and then it's all a connected narrative campaign, and that sounded freaking awesome, although it would involve painting a whole lot of stuff. I feel like you could get the Battlefleet Gothic rules though, and then just 3D print, you know what I mean, the models, assuming they're not making them anymore, you know what I mean, and just kind of use that as a vehicle. Because the old Battlefleet Gothic models, some of them were okay, but some of them were not as good. For example, for my army, which is the Tyranids, they're, not the best. Dreadfleet was filled with sadness. Got me excited for Man of War coming back, but nope. One-off board game. Yeah, I don't think that was the intention, Keith. I actually know a little bit about the background on it. The problem was, and I used to know someone who was a manager, and they were a manager of a GW when Dreadfleet came out, and they said there was no advertisement, no warning, nothing. It just showed up one day, and then they did stuff later on, they had expanded whatnots in White Dwarf and did different things like that later on, but there was no build up, no hype, no nothing. And he said they all got sent back, and then they got shredded, and they got turned into other kits and stuff like that. But they kind of always had, anyway, I from what I understand, the plan was to make it into a game like Man of War, but it failed miserably through lack of support and advertisement. But luckily they learned from their mistakes since by supporting all their games. That's true, right? I don't need to check that on the internet. Okay. I'm glad. I knew it must be true. The instant it left my mouth. He has been consumed by the meat dimension. As usual. His weekly appointment to be consumed by the meat dimension. It's not cheap. It'd take 2 amazing new factions for AOS over any of that stuff. Sorry, not sorry. Damn. 2 new factions? As opposed to 1 board game. Okay, first of all, it's not going to take them... Like, that's not 2 factions worth of resources. It's like basically we can either get Space Hulk or an Ogre rework. And obviously we're all going to pick Space Hulk, right? Okay. I don't need to check that internet. Okay. Just making sure. I was gone for a bit cleaning. What did I miss? Oh, so much.
Everything.
Yeah. All of it.
Can't even begin to summarize, so I won't.
Yeah. Agreed. But like, I don't know. I know we're like very anti 40K, or we pretend to be. But like, we got, what's it called? Cursed City, which was really cool, you know? And before that we got Blackstone Fortress, which was based off of like Silver Tower. Like they're all kind of iterating on each other. But I don't know, like Space Hulk was a mainstay. I think this is the longest they've ever gone without making something like that. And let's be honest, we're not sacrificing anything from AOS to get Space Hulk. We'd be sacrificing... Are you going to drink hand sanitizer? Is that what's happening?
No. I was spinning around my hammer a bunch, and then it hit the moisturizer, which is next to my desk for no particular reason. And the lid fell off, so I had to screw it back on.
Okay. I just assumed it was sanitizer.
No, why would I have
that? Yeah, I don't know. Stupid. Silent Ones equals Fishmen. We already got Fishmen. Well, kind of. Fishy elves. Man. I do want Silent Ones in any form. If that was some kind of like creature from the Black Lagoon, that would be... I want that more than anything other than the stuff that I already got, which is a Scaven resculpt. That would be insane. Like actual... But from what I understand, Matthew, they're like more like insectile. But maybe they'll steer away from that because like they've already got the bug thing going on in 40K. A lot of people said, "Oh, we don't need AOS Tyranids." And I was just like, they're not going to make them the same. Like they're going to be really, really different. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, or just like general like cryptid sort of faction could be kind of neat.
That's true. Yep. Oh, that's kind of like a Beasts of Chaos-y kind of thing as well, right? But
yeah, but they're not here anymore, so
that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's a good point. A cryptid faction would be cool. Nice. That's hilarious. Jim says, I love 40K. I just hate insert current edition here. And Ludivicus says 40K would be more interesting to me if it had more non-human, human adjacent factions. Like, why not Scaven in space lizards? Totally. And like, that's why I talking about it before the show with you? How I like basically only play Xenos and like a little bit of Space Marines. Yeah. Right?
I think it was during the show. You're talking about potentially getting the kill team.
Was it?
Orcs.
I don't remember. Yeah. That's true. I was talking about that, and I stand behind that. Commandos. Yeah, that's right. Now I remember, because I did mention that Colin was the one dragging me into that pot with him. That crab. But I appreciate the guidance and everything, because it actually looks really cool. It looks like a really great revamp on the game. No particular reason. You caught that too, Matthew, huh? I think, why are you typing these in the chat? Why aren't you like saying them out loud, Carson? And then Carson said,
I don't want to interrupt you.
Oh, you should just interrupt me. My mouth is getting dry. My throat is getting dry. And I would drink some moisturizer, but it didn't help last time. Carson said, look, somebody said ogre resculpt, and I got excited. And I don't know what you were doing when I was looking over at the chat, but I'm not sure I want to know. St. Ives.
Gotta keep it moist. Ooh. Don't like that.
No. We all hated that. But yeah, but anyway, so just I'm gonna yeah. Matthew says the Sylvanath have bugs covered. You're not wrong. I would like to see more, and like they also have them a little bit in Gits as well. Like they've got like some centipede kind of creatures, and then they've got spiders and stuff like that too. Yeah, I mean, like, to be honest, like I would love a insectile Silent Ones release, but like actual proper like mermen, fish people, weird, like more weird, like ocean dwelling stuff. I want that more than anything except for a Scaven resculpt, which I've already gotten. You know what I mean? That would be my number one. I don't know. Kurnothi 2. Ooh. I guess it would depend on what it looks like at that point. I could go either way. But anyway. I don't know, Keith. I don't know. Okay. Thank you to everyone for watching. I'm sorry this got a little more nonsensical than usual. I don't know what I was thinking, but I enjoyed it. I hope you guys got some stuff painted, or at least we entertained you. Next week, we're doing the Scaven review with Mechrat, I believe. Although I did notice afterward that he did ask me what time and day. So he might not be aware that it's always Tuesdays at 7 p.m. If you made it this far, maybe throw us a like and a subscription. If you hated us, give us the thumbs down and let us know.
No, I'm just gonna let you finish. I actually don't know what do you. Oh, let us know how you're doing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Oh, you're such a piece of crap.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, let us know what we could do better in the comments, or just let us know what you want to see. Do you want to see Space Hulk? Do you want to see Mordheim? Do you want to see Warcry? Do you want to see Epic? Do you want to see Man of War? What do you want to see? I am genuinely curious. I don't know many people that are probably going to make it this far, but if you did, you could just tell us that you made it this far by letting us know all those things in the comments section below. Thank you to everyone for hanging out. My co-host Carson is a bastard. I wasn't going to actually thank you. But yeah, anyway, thanks to everyone. Thanks to Carson. Thanks to all the amazing gift subs. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.